Hello everybody, Litter for Life here, bringing you guys a brand new deck profile. This time around it is Abyss Actors, a really fun, underrated deck that I really think that a lot of people are just kind of skipping over because it came out at the same time as Dark Lords, which really sucks because everybody has their eyes on that deck and nobody's really giving this deck a time in the spotlight, and I really think that it is a pretty good lower tier deck. And maybe with some tinkering around, somebody can really break it. I don't know, but it's a deck that I can totally see potentially being meta if Konami decides to give it more stuff. And we only have 2 cards that we don't have out here yet that OCG has that we don't. So don't know how much more support this deck is going to get, but I hope it gets a decent amount because it's a pretty cool deck. Anyway, so before I start rambling on for like 5 minutes, let's get on to the actual deck profile. First and foremost is Abyss Actor Evil Heal. He's one of the deck's 2 main boss monsters. In the P scale, you can tribute off an Abyss Actor, target a monster your opponent controls, and then reduce that monster's attack power by the attack of the tributed monster. Really helps out with getting their effects off and just being able to attack over big things. Then his monster effect is, whenever he is summoned, you can target a monster your opponent controls. It loses 1,000 attack for each Abyss Actor you control, and then if he kills a monster in battle, you can target an Abyss Script spell card in your graveyard and set it, which gives you a lot of recurability. Now, if you don't know what Abyss Scripts are, they're basically the main spell support of this deck, and Abyss Scripts are range from very crappy to very good. And of course, we will get to those whenever we get to the spells. Next up, one of the deck's 2 main boss monsters, Abyss Actor Superstar. Arguably, he's the more important one because his P scale and his monster effects are both really good. So in the P scale, you can tribute off a monster, set one of your Abyss Scripts from your graveyard. Okay, it just allows for more reoccurability, but his monster effect is also really good, where once per turn, you can just set one of your Abyss Scripts from your deck directly into your back row. The issue of that is that it's sent to the graveyard during the end phase, so you must use it right then and there, which is very annoying, and it doesn't even trigger the Abyss Script's effect whenever it's destroyed, and mostly because it's sent, and also it's by your own effect, not an opponent's effect. So while he is really good, it does really incentivize you in using those Abyss Scripts right away. Next up is Abyss Actor Sassy Rookie. Sassy Rookie is really good as well. As I may have said, as I said in my analysis of the deck, very few cards in this deck are actually really bad. Most of them are very good, but also very balanced. And Abyss Actor Sassy Rookie really epitomizes that, because he has a lot of really good effects, but he's also balanced in the sense that he's not overly broken. Same thing goes for some of the future cards that we'll be getting to here shortly. So, Abyss Actor Sassy Rookie, if he's in the P scale and an Abyss Actor or Abyss Actors you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy him instead. And then, while he's a monster, who, by the way, has pretty good stats for a level 4, if he would be destroyed by battle or card effect once a turn, he is not. And then, if he is destroyed, you get to special summon a level 4 or lower Abyss Actor from your deck. And if he is destroyed by on the P scale, you get to destroy a level 4 or lower monster your opponent controls. So he is really useful for both being a P scale and a monster. He's a decent beater, and he can just generally provide a lot of support and protection for the deck while also tutoring other monsters in your deck. Next up is arguably the best card in the deck, Abyss Actor Wild Hope. So you mainly use him for his P scale effect, and that is that while he's in the P scale, you can make your other Abyss Actor P scale of 9, and that allows you to go into your Evil Heal and just allow you to go into more stuff. Not to mention, this deck literally only has 1 high scale, which is terrible. But however, the downside to making your other scale 9 is that you cannot summon anything except for Abyss Actors for the rest of the turn, and that really locks you out of a lot of your extra deck plays, and makes it to where if you do want to go into the extra deck, you have to do it either before you do that effect, because it is for the rest of the turn, not just a blanket for that turn, and also you have to wait until your next turn, which obviously neither are really optimal for in any deck, really. Now, his monster effect is also pretty good. And he has 2. While he's in the monster zone, you can make him gain 100 attack for each Abyss Actor you control for a different name until the end of the turn. That's not all that great. It's just mostly so that you can get over more stuff and get in more damage. But the main thing about him is if he is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can grab any Abyss Actor from your deck to your hand except himself, which is really good and just allows you to just pay for himself, and if he dies, he gets more stuff. and heck, you don't care if he dies in your monster zone or your pendulum zone, he will be getting a search for you, which allows this deck to kind of combo well with the Draco Slayers, because the Draco Slayers, Luster Pendulum can pop him, search out another copy, and then also Wild Hope will trigger, allowing you to search. The issue is that the Draco Slayers, aside from that really good combo, don't really have much synergy with this deck, or at least in this build. I am going to try a Draco Slayer build, but I have no guarantee it's going to work. Because in my testing on Devpro, it has not so far. Or it's not as well as I would hope. Next up is Abyss Actor Leading Lady. So she has a lot of really good effects. Firstly, for pendulum effects, if you take damage, you can make it to where, well, you can either reduce the attack. Sorry, I don't know why I can't speak today. Reduce the attack of the monster that did damage to you by the damage that you took. So, like, let's say you take a direct attack from a Blue Eyes, and that Blue Eyes is going to be losing 3,000 attack power, which is pretty useful. Or if you take that damage, you can then add one Abyss Actor from your extra deck back to your hand, whose attack is less than or equal to the damage you took, which is pretty good for getting back to level 1s, because this deck does have 2 level 1s, and obviously you can't pendulum summon a level 1 yet, if ever. So really good pendulum effects. And then her monster effect is if that when damage is done, and it doesn't have to be just to you, it can be done to your opponent too, which is something I didn't notice until one of my, somebody commented on my previous video on Abyss Actors, mentioned it to me. But when damage is done, you can target one monster your opponent controls, reduce its attack power by the amount of damage done. So if, like, let's say for some reason you can attack directly or something, you can then decrease a strong monster's attack power by the damage you just did. And then of course there's other ways to trigger it too. She combos really well with Sassy Rookie. Also, if she's destroyed by battle or card effect while in the monster zone, you can grab any of your Abyss scripts from your deck and just set it right then and there, which is really, really, really helpful. Next up, we have the only high skill on the deck, or at least only natural high skill, and that is Abyss Actor Funky Comedian. So Funky Comedian, honestly, he is the worst Abyss Actor, and really you only really play him because he's a high skill and you don't have to lose your ability to go into your other stuff by using him. But even then, he's still not all that great. So his P skill is the exact opposite of Evil Heal, where you contribute off an Abyss Actor to making another Abyss Actor gain that monster's attack power until the end of the turn. And then his monster effect is if he is normal or special summoned, you can make it to where he gains 300 attack for every Abyss Actor you control until the end of the turn, maxing out at 1800, which isn't really anything special, but kind of cool for a level 1. And then once per turn, you can make one Abyss Actor you control gain attack equal to his attack, but Funky Comedian cannot attack that turn. So he kind of combos well with multiple copies of him, because you can normal summon him, make him gain 1800, well, go up to 1800 attack, use his effect, target another Abyss Actor, that monster will gain 1800 attack. Then you can use a Funky Comedian in your pendulum zone to tribute off that Funky Comedian and give another monster, or the same monster that you already targeted, another 1800 attack. But that obviously is very gimmicky. Attack points and attack modulation is just not that great in the meta and stuff. So that is one of the big reasons why this guy is not as good. But again, as I said, the big reason why you play him is that you can actually go into your extra deck on the turn you do a pendulum summon. Next up is honestly one of the other really, really good cards of this deck. So this is Abyss Actor Extras. In the P skill, you can just special summon him if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters. Pretty decent. You can only do that once per turn. And then his monster effect is that you can tribute him off. For the rest of the turn, you can't summon anything except Abyss Actors. And then set any Abyss Actor Pendulum monster into your P scale except himself. So you can just normal summon him, search out, use his effect, tribute off, and then put Wild Hope directly into your P scale. And then if Wild Hope dies, you can't really search for another Wild Hope, so then you can use Wild Hope effect to grab this guy, and then you can just do it again. Really, really, really good card. He is a level 1 along with Abyss Actor Funky Comedian. In this build, I ended up not playing 1-for-1 because I just couldn't really, it didn't really help out as much as I would like it to, but I will be trying it out in a future build. So that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. First and foremost, everything in this deck is dark. I think Allure of Darkness is kind of sort of mandatory in most, if not every, dark deck out there. Really good card, just let you draw 2 and then banish a dark monster from your hand. Not much more I can say about that. Drawing is always nice, and as right now, this deck does not have any way of inherently drawing. Next up is the first of the Abyss scripts, and arguably the best. This is Abyss script, Rise of the Dark King. Oh, sorry, Abyss King. Whenever you activate this card, you can target cards up to the, target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Abyss actors that you control in face-up attack position, and well, destroy them. And if you have a level 7 or higher Abyss actor on your field, your opponent cannot activate anything in response to this card's activation, which is just flat out amazing. So you just have either Superstar or Evil Heal out, and you have like 2 or 3 other dudes, and then you're just able to nuke all of your opponent's stuff, and they can't chain to it. That is the freakiest part about that. So like, if you target your opponent's ABC Buster Dragon or Dragon Buster, and they don't know what this card does, and you have a Superstar or an Evil Heal, and they're thinking, ah ha ha, I'm just gonna totally wreck this tier 2, 3 deck, and you activate this, and they just read it, and they're like, oh crap, I can't chain. So they cannot chain that ABC Dragon Buster to banish something or to tribute itself off. They will be losing that monster. Now, obviously, they would hopefully learn from that afterwards, so it won't work all the time. But, however, it's a really, really good card overall. Just being able to nuke a whole bunch of stuff. And then, also, like all Abyss scripts, this card has a effect where it only happens if it's destroyed while set in your back row. And let's just say this, a lot of people, once they first duel against Abyss actors, they learn not to destroy the back row. So you can play a lot of mind games with your opponent by actually playing some traps or siding in traps game too, which it can be really, really funny. Okay, so when this card is destroyed while set in your back row and you have an Abyss actor in your pendulum, in your extra deck, and that's a clause on all the Abyss scripts for actually getting this effect. Whenever it is destroyed, you get to grab 2 Abyss actors or Abyss scripts and or a combination of those, so long as they're not of the same name, from your deck to your hand. Now, something that's really cool is that neither of this card's effects are once per turn. So theoretically, if your opponent Twin Twisters 2 of these, you will get to search 4 cards. Which is amazing. So yeah, that's just easily the best of the Abyss scripts. Now then, on to the cards I play 2 of. I play 2 Abyss Script Opening Ceremony. This card is pretty good. I used to be playing 3, but I tended to just brick with it. Playing more than like 2 of each other than Abyss King is kind of scary because you tend to brick with them. You tend to draw too many, and then most of them, with the exception of this one, say, oh hey, you can only activate 1 per turn and stuff. This one you can only activate 1 per turn, and basically what it does is it gives you 500 life points for every Abyss actor you control, and then if it is destroyed while face down and you have a Abyss actor in your extra deck that's face up, you get to draw cards until you have 5. This card is really, really good. I like it, but the effect to get to draw 5 almost never really happens. But even then, just being able to gain at max 2,500 life points, and this deck likes to take battle damage so it can do more stuff, it allows you to just get some of that life points back. Now then, I dropped it down to 2 because you can only activate 1 per turn, and because there's just so many ways to get it back from your graveyard. Next up, I play 2 of the Abyss Script Fire Dragon's Lair. I'm kind of debating between 2 and 3 of this. It's a really, really good card. So basically, you target 1 Abyss actor you control, and if it destroys an opponent's monster at battle this turn, your opponent must banish 3 monsters from your extra deck, their choice. And then if this card is destroyed while face down and blah 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 blah, then you get to look at your opponent's extra deck and banish 1 card from your extra deck, your choice. So my issue with this card though is that again, like the other ones, I tended to brick with them too much. I tended to draw too many, so I decided to drop it to 2. Maybe later on I might try it at 3 again, but right now I think 2 is just better because again, you can grab it back from your graveyard with so many different ways. And then not finally, I got 2 more spells. Next up, we have Abyss Prop Wild Wagon. Now, this card is really interesting and has a lot of interactions with the deck. So, first and foremost, it's not an Abyss script, so you can't search it out. That's the biggest issue of this card. And I would say if you're going to cut anything out of this deck, cut this so that you can add more traps in. Personally, though, I really like it. It just helps out with more stuff and how the deck plays. So, once per turn, each of your Abyss actors you control cannot be destroyed by battle the first time that they battle. So each of your Abyss actors get 1 protection from each battle at each turn, which is really, really good. It goes for your turn as well, so you can of course combo with Leading Lady and stuff. And then, once per turn, you can target one Abyss Actor you control. It cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. This is really, really, really good against decks like ABCs where, oh hey, they can't target your, like, for instance, Evil Heal with Dragon Buster's effect, or I don't know, just various, like Kieran and stuff like that. Kieran's annoying. Speaking of, you could play Kieran in here, but it's just, I've tried it. It didn't really help too much. Maybe in the Drago Slayer build. But this card is just overall really, really good, just being able to protect your monsters. And then, here's the funny thing. If it's destroyed while face down, and you have, your stuff in your extra deck and everything, you get to bounce everything your opponent controls back to their hand, which can totally screw them up. And I just absolutely love it. It's basically non-destruction, non-removal. Non-destruction, non-targeting mass removal, which can really screw your opponent up. Get rid of all their extra deck monsters, return stuff that like maybe is locked onto one of your monsters, like a Fog Blade. Granted though, they'll be able to reuse it, which is annoying, but oh well. Really, really good card overall. But again, if you're going to drop anything to add more traps in, I would recommend these. Just simply because I can see why a lot of people won't like it, because it's not searchable. Who knows, maybe one day we'll be able to search it out with like something that searches out Abyss props. And then finally for the last two spells, I play 2 MST. I'm playing MST instead of Twin Twister because this deck, aside from the Abyss scripts, does not have any real recovery. I mean, yeah, you can grab back your Abyss scripts, and yeah, those will probably be the first things that you want to target to get rid of for Twin Twister, but generally speaking, you also want to use those Abyss scripts. But for the monsters, you got nothing to recover your stuff. There is absolutely nothing in this deck to recover a dead Abyss Actor, unless like you play Call to Haunted or something, which I don't, obviously, because it's never really come up to where I need it. So really, honestly, MST is better in this deck than Twin Twister. Now, if you have Galaxy Cyclone, play that instead. I don't have the money for Galaxy Cyclone. I think that's what it's called, right? The quick play spell card that you pay 1,000, banish a spell or trap card. If you have that card, play that instead of MST, but I do not recommend Twin Twister at all. And then finally for the traps, I play a total of 5. Firstly, 3 of this amazing card right here, Abyss Actors Backstage. Now, first and foremost, because it's an Abyss Actor card, you can search it out of your deck by Wild Hope's effect, which is really, really good. So what it does is if you have 2 Abyss Actors in your P skills, you can put 2 Abyss Actors with different names from your deck into your extra deck face up, obviously. So it's basically a double Rhoda. Now, granted, though, you can only activate 1 per turn, so you kind of got to do 1 your turn, 1 during your opponent's turn, and then the third 1 your turn. I actually did that once. Just being able to put 6 cards straight into your extra deck from your deck is amazing. Really, really, really good card. I just wish it would have added them to your hand or something, because that would be a lot better, just in case if your P skills die. But, oh well. And finally, I play 1 Vanity's Emptiness and 1 Solemn Warning, just simply to add a bit of defense to this deck. This deck is a bit of a beatdown deck, but however, at the same time, has a lot of defensive options. So for the traps, I decided to also add in 2 very defensive traps. Now, I don't have any Solemn Strikes or anything, so I can't play them. So I don't know if I would put Solemn Strike in here or not. More than likely, I probably would. I don't know if I'd probably take out Wild Wagon for Solemn Strikes if I had them. But anyway, so that's the main deck, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this. So now then, on to the extra deck. Now, you have options from 4 to 8. But with that being said, you almost never go into 8s or 7s because Superstar and Evil Heal are just better as standard monsters. And also, whenever you do actually get to Pendulum Summon those 2 monsters, generally speaking, you're locked into your Abyss Actors only. So really, I only mainly focused on the rank 4 aspect, because it just, rank 4 is easily the best rank pull out there right now. First up, a Rhapsody, number 80, Rhapsody in Berserk. This guy actually fell out of favor for a little bit. I don't know why. He's still really good. So, up to twice per turn during your turn, you can detach an Exceeds material to banish a card from your opponent's graveyard. Just being able to get rid of those ABC pieces in your opponent's graveyard is really, really good. Abyss Dweller, just being able to lock out of your opponent's graveyard effects. 1 Daigusto Emerald, being able to recur your stuff if they do happen to go to your graveyard is really nice. 1, oh god, Magister Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer, just being able to search out your, you have 2 ways of searching, but more searching is never a bad thing. So just being able to search out your stuff like main phase 2 and phase is really, really good. Castel, whoops. Just being able to just, you know, get rid of anything. One number 106 Giant Hand. Decent first turn play. If you got nothing else, that's better. One number 98 Antitopian. This guy is really good to counter your opponent's Utopia to Lightning. Aside from him, your deck really does not have any ways to really be able to counter him except for just making your own Utopia to Lightning. 101, oh yeah, well of course obviously 101 in Castel. I'm an idiot. 101, really good card. Number 50 Black Ship of Corn. One Kieran Gorgon. Utopia Prime, Utopia to Lightning. Obviously all just to make Utopia Lightning with 4 materials. So stupid. One Dark Rebellion. And then finally a Masquerade, because why not? Really good card. Being able to lock your opponent out of monster effects during either the player's battle phase. And just being able to burn and also mill a card from your opponent's top of the deck is also pretty nice. I like this card a lot. He's one of the better rank 4s that needs 3 level 4s to go into. Obviously, I would have played Shockmaster if he was still legal. So, that is the deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love this deck. I've been wanting to talk about it more and more. I really feel like that people are underestimating this deck. I mean, do I think it's like super high tier amazing or something? No, but it's really good. It's still, I think, a good deck for just playing for fun, and maybe even taking to a locals if like you really get a good build going. Now this build I really have been having a lot of fun with. It works really well. It's very consistent. And I will be trying out other builds. And as always, guys, I do like to read your guys' recommendations. So if you have any ideas, recommendations, or changes that you would like to make, please do them down in the comments down below. I do read comments. I may not always reply to your comments, but I do read comments. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to help me out, links are down below. You can find my Facebook, my Twitter, all that stuff. You can also find my Amazon list, my wish list. I cannot speak today for some reason. You'll find my Amazon wish list. So if you guys want to help my channel, help me out, you'll find that down there. And thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have had a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you all later. Peace out and goodbye.